Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Alrighty, so for today, we're going to do a little more of the same, working on figure drawing and things of that nature. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure the sound is off on this. Alrighty. So yeah, we're gonna work on those things like we typically do in these streams, and hopefully I get a few more figures that are decent, and improve a little bit along the way. I have a different setup, so hopefully it feels a little bit better for all of you. I have it so like the screen is up in front of me, so I can draw and then look up and stuff like that. So alrighty, so let's get this show on the road. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do stuff like this or if I'm gonna do just the gesture stuff and add some musculature on top of it. I had a really long day at work, and I'm exhausted. So, but the show must go on. Okay, got that going. Probably zoom out one. All right, now I gotta get used to not looking at. Oops. Okay. Cool. Is it gonna allow me to edit the session, or? Sorry, having some technical difficulties here. Oh, why did it do that? Sorry, this is weird, the way this is like setting itself up right now. Here, let me do it this way. Sorry. Gotta iron out the kinks with this new setup. Let's edit session. I typically only do 10 gestures. I'm gonna do 15 today. I think it's about time for me to up the ante a little bit. That'll just mean that we'll spend a little more time on the gestures to begin with, and then I'll move into adding muscles. Alright. There it goes. There we go. Alright. Let me go here maybe. Alright, so we got that. This arm is coming towards us, and this is also, so we got there. This is actually kind of up more. Okay, that one's pretty much good to go. Next. Cool. Let's get the knee. I never feel like I do this particular pose justice because whoever the artist was, I don't know who, made, excuse me, such a dynamic pose. But I'm getting there. Let's see here. I'm gonna probably twist this way. Oops. Then flip it that way. And this leg can come down. This arm goes back and down. The shoulder is pretty well hidden. Arm pops out here and then goes up. Alright. More of a standing pose here. So if you have a sorry, let me pause this just for a second and turn the music down just a bit. Hard for me to concentrate. So if you have your setup, I don't know how you do gestures. I say this pretty frequently, but Cube Brush has a really good app, like computer app for gestures. If you have like your gesture set up like a particular set of like poses and stuff, I would always recommend that you do a lot of poses that are like standing poses. Obviously, this depends on what kind of art you want to do. But the reason why standing poses are so important is because you want to be able to master drawing a standing pose, because it's going to help you balance proportions of other poses that are more dynamic in the future. If you just look at dynamic poses all the time that are like this one over here, you're missing some stuff, like, because there's foreshortened proportions and things like that, and it's not necessarily going to help you in the long run if you don't really understand what proportions are that are less dynamic. You're only looking at proportions in perspective, and that's not, I mean, it's helpful, but it's not as helpful if you're not super comfortable with the human body already. It's just a little tip. Alright, so get the shoulder in, get this other one in because it peeks out just a bit. Alright, and the leg comes forward like this and goes back like that. It's a very, very tall person. Let's see here, the leg comes in. The knee's going to be about right here on that side. And foot somewhere in here. So when you're doing these gestures, it's always important to remember you're not looking for perfect anatomy. You are actually looking for, just to get the overall feel of the motion of the particular piece. So like for instance, this head's too small and stuff like that. Like you can always go back and correct a little later, but it shouldn't be your concentration as you're, or what you're focused on, I should say, as you are just creating the gesture. Alrighty. Let's get this in. And hand in here, hand in here. Next, shoulder. Oops. Yeah, the shoulder is here, but we still have to put in a neck. Alrighty. Alright, the other really good thing about doing gestures frequently is it actually starts to teach you which proportions and things you're getting wrong. And I've noticed that over the last couple of months of me doing this on live streams, I have really started to understand my bad habits, which is really important because everybody has bad habits. One of mine was I wasn't giving enough space here, and I've had to really work on that because it's anatomically incorrect. So people are going to notice it when you're applying for jobs or what have you. The other one is I make my heads too small initially. Or, technically, I guess I make my bodies too big. Let's go here. I need to start trying to implement some of the shapes that my instructor uses in my gestures. Make them second nature. Let's see here. It's another thing I've noticed a little bit is sometimes my drawings lean just a bit. That's because I tilt my head. I don't know if y'all have noticed that when I draw. Like a little doggy. Alrighty, so this gesture always trips me up. Super dynamic, but also very difficult to draw. Alright, so we get here, here. I need to pause this for a second and get another page. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna get a quick drink and turn up my little desk AC as well. Whew. Alrighty. Let's get the next page going. I think I'll only have like 5 or 6 more, and then we will pick a couple and move towards putting on anatomy. Alright. I wonder if I can go back. Yep, cool. I wanted to finish this one up because it felt, I don't know, this one felt really good. I think this is one that I'll end up adding anatomy onto. One thing I need to change is the head is actually a bit back. I can probably do this. It is missing a bit of the gesture in here, so I will add that. Just leaning back just a bit more. Alright. Next. One thing that I just did that I would never recommend is I started to get sucked into the details of the upper body. You never want to do that in your gestures. Gestures, if I can talk. Because, again, it's all about the flow. It's all about getting getting down what the pose is in its essence. Details can be added later. Especially because you're probably going to get that stuff semi-wrong anyways on your first pass, and you'll have to go back through. And you don't want to be adding detail to something that isn't anatomically correct already. This needs to be leaning more. Alrighty. I'm trying to work on my hip shape just a bit more, just because my hips are probably my weakest area for my anatomy. I have a lot to learn about drawing hips, and I'm working on that shape because I'm hoping that if I can get a different shape going, it will open up some more anatomy detail for me later. Closer to reality foundation, the better. I think this might be the last gesture. And then we'll start to work towards creating a better, or not a better, but creating some more anatomical drawings. Alright. This needs to actually go out more. It's another thing I'm noticing a lot is I don't put enough lean sometimes in the upper body in comparison to the lower. So that's why I just corrected that. Alright, so let's look at what we have and pick a few. Actually, this one's, I like this one a lot. I already did this one before. I like this one, but this one right here is the one I'm pointing at. But I already did the anatomy for that one. Maybe this one might be good. And we'll choose one more. I like this one. Alright, so we'll do those three. And then I'll probably... we'll see how long it takes me. If it doesn't take me too long, I might pick another couple. But alrighty. So let's get a new canvas. Oof. I hope y'all are all doing well. I hope you had a great Tuesday. Mine was super busy, but I'd rather be busy at work than bored. So there's some anatomical things that I'm going to have to correct, but that's fine, right? It's about the gesture. Okay, so we just that one. Alright, we got this one. And this one here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the reference for these, but first I'm going to try to add the anatomy. Well, I'm going to check what I have so far, correct some of the gestural things, and then I'm going to try to add the anatomy without looking at the reference. And then after I do that, I'll where's my mouse? There it is. I'll go back and check it, and that's how I would recommend you do your stuff. Just because you want to quiz yourself, but you also should be using reference every time you have questions. So give me 1 second. Just need to find the gestures. Here's one. That's one. What's the other one? It's that. Where's that one at? I know one of them. Where are you? Riding the struggle bus. Here it is. And one last one. Where? Oh, there it is. Alright. So let's get these over on the big screen here. So I can use it as a guide. And the last one. Alrighty. So I do, however, need to also pull up this so I can see y'all. Alright. Alright, so we'll start here. I want to just check my gesture really fast. It's not too bad. This leg can come forward just a bit. Oops. Alright, so we'll get that leg there doing that, which would also move this leg forward a bit. So I'm going to put that in. It's a little straighter than that. It's a horrible foot. Alright, so now I also want to get this one right. It's not quite tilted enough. Alright. Here and this one actually needs to come down a little. Does that feel right? Let's see something, do some quick measuring here. So from here to here should be equal. Yeah, I guess it's pretty accurate. I do need to make the head a bit bigger. And the neck is actually a little bit longer. Alright, and it's a 3/4 angle. Alright. Oof. Head's hurting, guys. Head's hurting. Alright, so let me work on adding the anatomy to this one really fast, and then I'll pop it back up. I actually think the head needs to be slightly smaller. Okay. So I'm going to put all of this on the same layer and get a new one going, pull this down a bit. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to add the collarbone. And then I can do from that the delts, the pecs, it's gonna come up like this. The other delt's gonna poke out the back. Now I can wrap around the obliques. Alright, the glute is going to be around in here. There's like this space in here before it pops back out. So I'll add that. I can indicate the ribs. Take this here, add a little bit to the hip there before it drops down and goes. Thing that's looking a little odd here to me is this side so far. Can probably do that. So we got that in. Okay, so I'm gonna add these in as well. All that's gonna be added in too. I think that you're gonna see a bit of the leg off the side the way that I have this angle going, because I don't think that it's just going to drop in. Could probably even pull that out a bit more. Alright, this arm feels a little stiff to me, so I'm actually going to pull it out just a hair. Not really sure what the hand was doing there. Alright, and then we're going to have this forearm group here. Our other hand is not really worried about hands right now. Okay, so we got that. Got this hip bone here. So that will mean that we get this shape. Knee's gonna be like in here. I always forget what the lateralis, is that what it is? Whatever these quad muscles are. So we get that. We're gonna get her glute is going to kind of end right in here, I believe, maybe a little higher, probably right in here. And then we're gonna get a little bit of the hamstrings before it drops back down. We also get a muscle here that travels up and around. A little bit of ligament in here. Calf muscle. In there. And then get the back part. I guess the back leg is what I meant to say. With another calf muscle in here. Alright. And then the back side of this leg. And from this angle, we probably will see a bit of that other glute. I do think that all of this needs to be pressed forward just a bit. All right. I'm not super worried about facial features right now either. Just want to get something in. Okay, so let's pull the reference back up. Oof, and see how we did for the first go. Okay, not great. Not great at all, actually. It was pretty bad. Alright. So the first thing that I kind of messed up was the hips are way more turned than I thought. I actually had it there initially. I knew there was something that was really off, and I couldn't like put my finger on it. So that's why I, in my brain, was like, oh, there's definitely more glute that we're gonna see. Okay. So, yeah, the whole body is turned way more than I had it turned. This is why we do this, ladies and gents. Alright. Like, you can barely see any of that back rib. That's how turned the body is. Okay. Alright, so you still do see a little bit of this far piece here, but alright, so we got here. Alrighty. Get this. Alright, so this is actually turned so that we can see a bit of the sacrum. So that would mean we are going to get some more of this in here. Alright. Alrighty, so we'll get something like that. This is still a little too far towards us. It's actually overlapping a bit more than I'm giving it credit for. Alright, so we'll do that. I mean, this arm is just off because of, it's not at this angle. I forgot to change that. It's actually coming from here, and then the hand, if I were to make a glove for it, is in here. Alrighty. Now I did do the right thing with this arm in the back side by pulling it further out. Alright, so I need to make clear as well what is overlapping what. Alright, there is a bit here that I'm messing up. And that is the, alright, so there's a line in here for that rib. This comes out and then out again. I almost like, I don't really like that he has, Mark, I hope you're never watching this, because I don't want you to ever think I don't like any of your art. Your art's beautiful. But I don't really like how he has this hand. Like, I kind of want to spread the fingers out just a bit. I'm not really sure why, but I just like, for me, it just feels a little more appealing. I don't know. So I'm going to just add that. Alright. One thing that's a little off is since the torso itself for this particular figure is a little bit longer. Oh, whoops. That would also mean that like limbs are going to be slightly longer and things like that. So this elbow needs to drop quite a bit. I think that should do it. Yeah, that feels better. There's still something. I'm like missing a piece of this anatomy in here. I'm not really sure what it is. Okay, so he's got this going in a little bit further than coming back out. I think that did the trick, actually. And there's just even a little bit more for where the hips and stuff are before it quickly trails back inwards. So you get this with the belly button in there. Yeah, there's something that I'm not quite understanding in this area. So I need to really work on like hips and lower stomach and stuff like that, because there's just something that I'm really not getting right here. But yep, I think overall that is pretty much finito. I'm gonna go ahead and, just because I haven't been practicing faces and stuff as frequently as I should, I'm going to go ahead and actually finish up this face. Right, she has pointy ears. And her eyes, let me go in here. Her eyes are gonna be right in here. Nose is here, mouth. Alright, so oops. Ended up being a pretty face, actually. I don't say that much about my faces. Typically, I really don't like them. His ear's a little wonky. Okay. Could probably pull this eye up just ever so slightly. Okay, I'm cool with that. Alright, so for the rest of them, I'm not gonna, just because my brain's not capable of it right now, I'm not gonna worry too much about trying anatomy and then going into the other stuff. I'm just gonna go right into using the anatomy as a reference. I might just finish this one up and stop because my head isn't really feeling too great. Alright. So let's... First thing is... There's the collarbone in there. So that would mean... Here... That's something I'm also noticing. I give too much space to that bad boy, the sternum. And it creates this weird situation with my pecs where they're a little too long. Alrighty. Cool. This is not correct. Needs to be a little closer. And then there is something, there it is, I found it. I was gonna say there's something fundamentally just not sound about this, and that was the fact that my perspective was off. Coop, what's up, man? That still doesn't feel quite right. Let me do something really fast. Riding the struggle bus, riding the struggle bus. There it goes. I don't need all that space. I can pull this over a little bit so I can actually see the chat. Alright. Oh no, you're good, Coop. You are good. Say your first day of school, Coop? Alright. I think I could probably give her a little bit more clavicle space here. Oh, yesterday was. Oh, that. Yeah, my bad. I figured. I should have figured at least. For me, this is like a Monday because I took yesterday off. But cool. Hopefully your first day went well yesterday, and hopefully today was good too. All right. All right. So we get this down. Alright, so the hips here, so it's going to cause, actually it's further up. So it's going to, what is this line? It's interesting. He drew it that way. He has this like line that comes from here down and then out. Really interesting the way he drew that. I wonder why that is. Because that is not what I would do. I would do something like this. And then down. It's just more angular, I guess. Interesting. His looks better. Much better. I will stick to this, I guess. Alright, so this is just a water balloon. Just a water balloon. Okay. And other shoulder back here with the bicep, and here goes. Okay. So that is done. This is wrong still. Let's get in here. Yeah, it's going in like that, and then this is up here. Cool. So now we can go ahead and put in the leg muscles here. Knee is going to do something like that. This knee is here. This. I think that these legs, the upper leg is too long. So we're gonna fix that right quick. Yeah, that feels a little better. Alright, I am pretty okay with that. Gonna get the glute out here before it comes inward. Connects here-ish. This needs to come out a bit. Alright. Then we get the calf. This probably, not probably, this needs to go down quite a bit more. There it goes. Somewhere in here. I've been having an urge to do any homework I can, so I'm ahead. That's not a bad urge to have. Keeps you, keeps you going in school. Don't lose that drive, sir. Alright. Let's do a face for this one as well. Gotta get my face practice in. I have not been doing that lately. And I don't want to get rusty. Alright, so let's go in here and put in some of these construction lines here. Let me make sure that that feels good. Yep. Yeah, it's never a good feeling to like procrastinate and then have to really like grind at the end. I used to do that too. Like my first like couple of years of school, I used to do that, and I learned my lesson. It's always best to get it done quicker. Okay, I think this is fine. So let's zoom in here. I'm hoping that it'll let me have some more free time this year since yeah. If you plan your weeks out pretty well, you'll definitely reap some benefits from that. See something here. I think I can. Not just your mom, you gotta show yourself too, sir. Alright, I need to be a perfectionist about this. How do I feel about that? Need to add a little bit more to the back of the head. Probably a little bit more up top. Too much. That's the spirit coop. It feels like too much. Let me... That feels just right. Okay. So his right eye, or eye on our left, is actually a little bit more spread. I wonder why that is. Does that look better or worse? To me, that looks worse. But I think it's because his eyes are wider. So I can do that. Okay. So we got that. I mean, the big issue with this right now is that these are still too small, the lower legs. So I'm just gonna quickly fix that because it's a very, very quick fix. So we'll get that in. I will say this one came out a bit stiff. The thing I'm going to do to fix that is take this and pull it back just a bit. And I also think I need to take the full body, pull it this way just a bit. It's definitely not my best work, but it'll have to do. Okay. So I will quickly finish this last one, I guess. I'm so tired. Because that one didn't take me that long. So let me get rid of this. Now we have this last one here. Alrighty. So let's get it. Zoom out one. The gesture in this one feels pretty good right off the bat. I think I captured it pretty well. So now I just need to, let's go for this center line really fast. Let's add the sacrum. Alright, and now from the sacrum, I can quickly add the glutes. Alright, the sacrum posits out a little bit more than that. Alright, so we got the glutes in, and that's fairly accurate for what they are. We do flat here, and then we get this. We're gonna get a bit of hamstring here and here that comes down and wraps in, comes down and wraps in. So we will have a bit of a outer portion here. The knee comes up and kind of in like this for the back, and then we're gonna get the calves. One thing that's a little off is the bottom of the legs here. So they should be kind of coming inwards like this, but going back. And this heel is right underneath the ear. So it's gonna be like right here, and this one's right next to it. Alright, so I think that's a little bit better. I will figure that out. I think that there's a big piece of me that I just want to start maybe doing. There's been a comic that I've been working on for a really, really long time, like writing it. I think a part of me wants to start like posting it on like Voice Me, and just do that as like my practice for the most part. And continue to work on this stuff too for live streams and all that. I will figure out a timeline for that. I'm not sure when, but that stuff will have a lot of the mental health stuff that you're asking about. It'll have that in it. It's kind of like the foundation of the magic system for that world. This can actually come out quite a bit more. All right. So So certain mental like health considerations would equal a branch of magic that you should enter, because working through those considerations will enhance your power. So basically the magic system works, the more you kind of work on your own mental health considerations, the stronger you become, and the teachers at the school are therapists, basically. Yep, that is the manga. That is the power system of the manga. Aha, see, some of it's starting to stick with the hips. This little bubble right here. Granted, it's going to be overlapped by the glute, but I need to, like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know if I want to release it as is, and try to sell it as is, or fine tune some stuff. My gut tells me I should fine tune it because I want to sell it. I'll probably, like, I think I'm kind of waiting to get Clip Studio Paint for my iPad, because I think I want to work on those, on my mangas and stuff like that on the iPad, and leave like other things for my desk. So I will try to figure that out shortly, like within the next few weeks. Alrighty, let's see what I got going on here. That's not bad, man. That looks pretty good. This arm is a bit too long, or the upper arm, I should say, is a bit too long. That's more like it. Still feels just slightly maybe too long, but I don't think it's anything too horrendously bad. But the one shot, it is pretty much finished. I think I'm gonna add, like, I don't know, like maybe 10-ish pages to it, between 5 and 10 pages to it, because I think I want to have a little more build up, and then probably edit some of the fight scenes and stuff like that. Alright, let me see something here. This might be something that I fix really fast. I'm not really sure what the issue is here. Maybe this can come further out and in. Is that it? Yeah, that might have been it. That might have fixed it. Alright, I can do the face really fast as well. Okay, her eyes are more like this, actually. probably like that. And that would leave her nose to be right there-ish, and the mouth. Nose. Eye socket. Eye socket. I know. That would be nice. Maybe when I have 10K plus subs or something. Probably more like 100K, but to get sponsorships like that. We'll get there though. We'll get there. Alrighty. This forearm's a bit chunky. Still a bit beefy. Alrighty. Alright, those are the spoils of war for today. I think that all came out pretty good, really. Making slight improvements, I think, every week. Every time we do this, I'm growing. But I think that's going to be it from me for today. Head is just absolutely, not happy with me. But I appreciate all of y'all joining. Even if you didn't comment or anything like that, it's perfectly fine. I appreciate the support on the stream anyways. I'll be back on Thursday, probably around the same time, for probably a stream, like a gesture stream with shading and things like that to practice. And then I'll continue to, stream here and there. Hopefully, I want to try to get at least 2 days a week. It seems like y'all are liking the streams, at least on the other end of the stream, like after it's finished. It's at this point 3 or 4 of my most popular videos, so that's always good. But I hope that y'all have a great night, and I will see you on Thursday. Alright, bye bye.